Okay, so I'm actually assuming now this works. Also, I should probably assume that I should wait 30 seconds so that I can get people in. Okay, so, um, okay, so if you're still here, awesome. If it worked out, great. There, a little bit longer to kind of reset everything. I think everything's working out just fine. Okay. I should keep that off. There's a lot happening in my desk at the moment. there's there's so much. Gonna refresh real quick. I've got your countdown stream. Okay. Oh, it's yeah. I'm still going, so I'll switch over because I'm literally like when I say super casual, I mean like I am super casual. I should turn down this mic a little bit. Now I should be not. Okay, there we go. Now I'm not in the red anymore. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, now we're here, and I'll switch over to here, and I'll switch over to. I think we're in this one today. Yep. Super casual. Super casual. Okay. So, turn down just a little bit. The voices should stay high. Actually, no, I can keep this up. I love this music, but. Whew, whew. Okay, so what this is Death and Taxes. If you're here, awesome. Okay, welcome back, Mad Matt. All right, everything all worked out. So yeah, there's so much happening, and this is a super casual stream. That's why there's no camera because at this point I'm like, hey, all right, everyone, this is about as chaotic as it gets. So here we go. So we're at Death and Taxes. Um, Save and go back. Um, it's a visual novel game with choices. And you have to kind of decide how you're going to work with fate to be able to get there. This looks like a spooky financial time. Yeah, it pretty much is. So I actually did the first 2 weeks of the game. I actually have never completed the game to its ending, so that's the goal for today is to see how long it is in 2 weeks, um, and then kind of go from there. So we will see. You'll see how this goes. It's like it's business. It's business as usual. So, first off, this is my office. I play the Grim Reaper. As a Grim Reaper, I have to decide who lives or dies based on what fate tells me is necessary for everything. So, I have here, we'll get that in a second. So, I have here a list of names that, oh, what? I have here a group of names that I need to choose from to decide who lives or dies. This here is the voices of the ether, aka my chat, and they help me decide if you decide to do so. If not, then I just use it to give myself 30 seconds to think. This is my instructions for who lives or who dies every day. This is the radio. Because I need a radio. Everyone needs good music to jam to when they're doing their jobs. There's my little pig bank for all the money I make. And now all of my choices that I make have consequences to some extent. So last week, I don't remember what I did, but last week I did something, and this is the consequences. So, at Crow News, Fancy Flying convinces government to increase funds of all-purpose fighter aircraft research. Research has been struggling due to aircraft being bad at literally everything. At Economista, Economist. Wow. Okay. There's a word that I will never want to ever say ever. Economista. Damages from fracking deemed to be too excessive and expensive. Government vows to shift toward developing better renewable energy sources. So whatever it is I did last take kind of led to this eventuality. Kind of giving me vibes like Felix the Reaper mixed with Papers, Please. Actually, yeah, this is when I play Papers, Please, and they say this is what we recommend. This is the game that popped up, and I bought it last year when it was just released, and I had such a blast with it. It was one of my very first streams right after the final station. I did this one, and I had so much fun until I realized that I was like, you got harder. Okay, so here are the rules for today. Let's see, it says, congratulations, Grim. You have passed the performance review, which I got twice. As expected, but let us not dwell on the past. I need you to focus on the future. This will be a tough day. Be attentive. So I have to make sure today that at least a total of 6 humans die. 3 of them have to be with a scientific background, and at least 2 of them have to be age 30 or younger. Humans are so easily corrupted. Good reaping, fate. All right, so that's my instructions. I'm going to keep it here because that was a lot to take in. All right, so here's my pen of death. All right, let's see. So we have Florence Oluwa, age 26. She's an organizer. Florence is one of the central organizers behind canvassing for re-election of popular politician Baron Sander. When not engaged in political campaigning, Florence always enjoys long bike rides and tending to their small garden. All right, so that's Florence. 6 humans, that's good for an average day on Earth. I think I'm only working on a very small portion of the population. As we discovered last time, there are multiple deaths. There's a plant death, there's a bee death, there's a dog death, there's a reaper death, there's reaper consortium, there's the archive reaper. So there's a lot of reapers in different positions. So, yeah. I'm on mute for just a second. Continue. Oh, I'll be in and out. Jabrowski is still streaming, so I was like, I had to kind of catch up with what's going on in there. Oh, hey, thanks, Floppy. I appreciate the subscribe, man. I do. You're literally first. Was determined. I see that. All right. I hope you all hold tight. Give me about, I'm going to say 2 minutes, and then I'll be right back in the stream. I just have to join this one real quick, do whatever I have to do here. They delayed it by an hour. I wasn't anticipating that, so I apologize. So I'm going to check Jabrowski out real quick, and I will be right back. Feel free to enjoy this radio music. Okay, it's getting a bit late, a little bit longer, so this will be fun. So we'll continue on. If anything, someone will message me if something goes horribly awry. All right, so we're here. Notice I'm actually getting my hotkeys right. No accidentally being there. Thanks for the stream, everyone. Yeah, you don't hear too much catchy sax in today's radio music, and sax is great. It's not easy. And this is really cool. I really like the music in this one. Actually, this is weird to listen to while I'm like, oh, let's judge who lives and who dies. But it's kind of makes it a little easier, I guess. Okay, so we have Eli Losang, 20, Jarhead. Eli, or Ellie, completed the grueling scout sniper training, but they're constantly afraid for their life or thinking about the probable infidelity of their spouse. They have not yet fired a rifle in a situation outside of practice, so there is that. I guess that's good. We'll see. Let's see. We have Tress Collision, 36, Smuggler. There isn't a thing that Tress won't smuggle in or out of this country. Whatever it is, they'll find a way. Drugs, guns, endangered animals, antiques, artifacts, even people. They have no scruples and no hidden principles. Okay. Now here's the thing. I have to make sure that 6 go, and I have 5 of them that have to fit in this stipulation. At the same time, I also don't, technically speaking, have to follow the rules. But for this playthrough, I decided I was going to go 100% follow the rules and see what ending I get from that. The next time, maybe we'll see what happens if I decide not to follow the rules. Alright, so I have 3 that have to die. 2 that have to be, or sorry, I have 6 that have to die. Did you say those dimples suggest otherwise? Are you looking at? I mean, maybe just that one little face muscles, yeah? Let's see. Then we have Don Fierino, 46, Mobster. Don Fierino tries to model themselves after the old mafia novel films without realizing that those stories are made up by authors who had no connection to or understanding of organized crime. Soon enough, they'll realize that there's no honor codes and family bonds. Crime is just crime. Like something we wish a lot of people would figure out, but who knows? Okay, so that's that. Technically speaking, we do want, to say that these 2 will be, but I have to have 3 humans that have a scientific back to them, and 2 of them have to be under 30. Now, these can work together, so you never know. Alright, let's see. So we have Niati Alethea, 36. She's a hacker. Niati, online alias Cryptomancer, was inspired to become an IT specialist / hacker by reading old cyberpunk novels. They were arrested and banned from using any computers for 15 years after they crashed the Cosmopolis stock market. They're still very interested in modern cryptography algorithms. This one should be hired by the CIA. Maybe he's a scientifically minded gangster. Hey, I only go with what the analytics team give me. Let's see. Chiel van den Sanden. Yes, sure. Astrophysicist, 47. Chiel focuses on researching red dwarfs, and immediately my head went to the TV show, which is like one of my top favorite space sitcoms of all time. Alright, so not Red Dwarf the TV show, but Red Dwarf's the star. Chiel focuses on researching red dwarfs and the possibility of finding habitable. This is probably a good thing that I'm really not on camera today, because I am failing miserably. Of finding habitable planets in their systems. As a lifelong science fiction fan, they were sad but accepting of their children dressing up as bow-wielding fair folk from a fantastical novel. Well darn. I guess it's okay. Alright, so he's researching red dwarfs and he's got science. So science is there. Let's see. Historian. Historian qualifies as a science, I believe. I think more than Jarhead and Organizer, anyway. Let's see. When still in their early 20s, Glory harbored some edgy and extreme views on society and in the world in general, until up to the point when they grew up and calmed down, readjusting their innate interest on societal issues to gain greater knowledge of history and the myriad structures that affect our lives. Right? Into the death pile. I mean, jam next to the radio. Amanita, already a terrible name. She's like, I'm also named after a death fungus. Mad Matt says, take off those those elf ears and put on your Vulcan ears. This is a house of science. How dare you pull fantasy books out, right? Let's see. Amanita, or Death Mushroom, has dedicated her life to researching the end of days. When not working, they take their pile of dogs for a walk or snobbishly drive around in their vintage car, even though the battery is chronically empty. Otherwise, they have no personality or political views whatsoever. First off, it's definitely a personality to be snobbishly driving. So let's put that in perspective. Okay, so under 30 and has scientific. So 1 is under 30, so this can go. And then 3 have to have science. I'm assuming that that's science. That's my phone. I'm also assuming that that is science. Let's see. I'm just checking to make sure Jabrowski hasn't started what he needs to do, because I need to run over for that for 2 seconds, but I think I'm okay. Alright, I think I'm okay for now. Okay. Okay, so now we have destroying angel mushrooms, if I remember. Maybe getting my... But I may be getting my doom shrooms mixed up. I thought the Amanita was a class of mushrooms that included that particular, the angel mushrooms that you're talking about. I thought that the Amanita series was kind of like a series of mushrooms. Like Death Cap and angel mushrooms. Both of which are absolutely terrible. Don't eat them. Is that not an Amanita? Is Amanita not a class or overarching? I feel like it is. You know, actually, I might just have to go look that up because I haven't researched death mushrooms since the last time I researched. I think it must have been high school at this. Nope, college. Must have been college at this point. All right, easy peasy though. Yes, confirm death. Yes, confirm death. Like I said, a very mundane paperwork job. No, I don't need to read this again. Alright, now we have the hacker. She's 36. So let's see. I have 3 science, so that's check. I have 1 of them being under the age of 30, so that's check. So I just need 1 more under the age of 30. And it should probably be Jarhead. I'm going with Jarhead. Actually, hold on. Time out. No. I actually have this for a reason, and since I have a couple, I want to try it. Alright. So what I have here is, I'm going to ask the either. You have 30 seconds to choose whether Jarhead lives or dies. You have to do exclamation point live, or exclamation point die if you want her to die, exclamation point spare if you would like to spare. Alright, so here we go. There's so many papers on my paper desk. Oh my god. Alright, here we go, and go! Feel free to decide the fate of Jarhead from the fate of Jarhead. Exclamation point die or exclamation point spare. You're gonna be okay there, man. Yeah, 30 seconds. I can do it again, because... Yes, it worked! Woo! Alright. Jarhead must... We said die, right? I'm not making this up. Sorry, Jarhead. The ether has spoken. Alright, so that's that. So now I have... Yay! Yay, it worked, or yay, the ether has spoken and she dies. Just joined and someone is already dead. Hey, Drake. Can you, Drake, since you're here, actually, can you keep an ear out for me? If he asks after me or asks anything, just let him know I'm in the midst of stream and I am missing my own, like, casual stream. And I'll be right over there if I have to be. Someone's already dead. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so if he also is like, hey, do this one last round of ticket thingies, just make sure that I do that. All right, so oh, you're here for this. Okay, so now I have to choose one more. So I've got 4. I got the stipulation for under 30, so that's good. So I just need, let's see, 1. What? What? Did he call me? Oh man, okay, hold on guys. Feel free to read after. We're gonna go over the organizer. And we're gonna decide whether she lives or dies. Because I have a feeling that... No, wait. It's not her. I know, right? Alright, Smuggler. How many do we need? Smuggler and Mobster? I think we can go with these two, right? Or should we go with the Hacker? Let's ask the Hacker, because I'm kind of curious. She did take out the stock market, and that's something Drake holds very seriously. So, chat, we're going to do this one more time, because this was super fun, and I'm going to make it happen. The alias cryptomancer who took out the Cosmopolis stock market. Exclamation point die, or exclamation point spare. No lie, working here is... Ooh! Ooh, Mad Matt. Alright, Haggard. Mad Matt saved you. Unfortunately, Drake wasn't fast enough, so it all worked out for ya. Alright. She lives! Oh wait, so I can actually mark her to live. Oh my god, doing it this way is way more fun. Alright. I'm assuming that you guys, I'm going with the organizer can live, because there's, like, nothing in her that I'd be like, ah. I still kind of feel bad about dooming that death-fearing Jarhead. I mean, we won't really... Here's the thing, we won't know until tomorrow, or the death day, sorry, the next day, what happens. But I am going to take out these two. Yep. And yes. Alright. I think we've covered it. Confirm my choices. Alright, so at this point, now we go check out with my boss's fate.
Good evening, Grim. I hope you are doing well.
Yes, thank you.
I forgot to ask you yesterday. How did it feel going through almost a whole week on your own?
Answer A, pretty good. Answer B, basic, one day follows after another. C, rough. Things got really bad. D, I saw a lot of pain and suffering. It was sad. Or E, I'm not sure how much more of this I can handle. Okay, actually I'm going with one day follows another.
Just so.
You like my bird head? Yeah, you unlock those as the game continues. You have to buy in-game, you have to buy the stuff, and there's an achievement for getting all of them. So I'll show you when I get to the Mimira. I can show you what they all look like.
Well, let us quickly go over the usual administrative matters. The papers.
Papers.
I see you have marked the appropriate number of profiles. Yay.
Whenever I write yay into a chat from here on out, that is the exact intonation I want everyone to take from it.
Honestly, this corporate mandate is growing a bit tiresome. Oh well, what must be done?
Yeah?
Speaking of, yesterday marked a significant moment in your career. Are you content with your evaluation?
A, yes, it was good to hear I'm such a good worker. Or B, I'm not sure about the whole rebellion thing you spoke of. Or C, I don't really care. I don't really care.
Perhaps you should.
Is there a Pharaoh mask? I don't know. I haven't seen them all yet. And I'll show you where I buy them from.
This reminds me. Have you any questions? It has been a while since we had a personable dialogue.
Let's see. I'm a bit unclear on the origin of the rules.
What do you mean?
Let's see. Do you pick what's supposed to happen and thus makes it happen, or am I the one who actually picks and makes things happen?
Oh, nothing of the sort.
I picked the first one.
The world, and the people therein, create the situations themselves without our interference. Our datamongers assemble, collate, and examine wide swathes of data, and calculate the parameters for the necessary equilibrium. We do not directly cause deaths, although our choices can modify the structure slightly.
How can that be? If I mark the profiles, don't these decisions affect other people? I'm gonna go ahead and follow this.
In a sense. But this is certainly not a one-to-one sequence of causal links. You should consider time works a bit differently in here. Anything else?
So how long is a day anyway?
The complexity of time. Imagine that it is not a fixed and stable entity. I am sure you did not think only 15 days have passed since your arrival. Considering the frequency and magnitude of events in your moderately sized region.
There was like a small, pandemic, outbreak. So, how does it work?
Time is an inconsistent flux. While you rest, days, weeks, months may pass at different intervals.
Well, that's comforting.
Profiles from diverse moments appear on the same day, interlaced, with an horizon of time and space stretching beyond mere 4 dimensions. That is why causal links are difficult to establish, and the equilibrium is of unfathomable complexity.
This is like the cool teacher that you kind of want to not piss off, I feel.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah. What's my history? Was I someone?
You are a death spawn. I crafted you out of different materials.
Or A, where did my parts come from? Or B, cool, I like being a thing. Where did my parts come from?
The store. And places.
I came from the store. And places.
Anything else?
There's so many questions. I might as well have all the conversation. Do you play chess? I recall some film about death and tons and tons of chess.
No. I am instead particular to this game called Go. Aesthetically pleasing, less violent and imperialistic.
From the store and from Mattel. Oh, Toy Story, Death and Taxes version.
Anything else?
This was a lot. I should go rest.
Oh, one more thing. It was nice of you to gift Lady the little gerbil. I am sure she appreciates it.
I gave her a little gerbil mouse thingy last week.
Although, personally, I am growing rather tired of the incessant squeaking.
By the way, I noticed the toy behaving oddly, squeaking on its own and all.
Yes? What is odd about it?
How can that be? Is it alive or something?
But of course.
But what?
The toy is crafted with magic, of course. It holds the essence of a living little beast inside that rubber core. ...
Oh, sorry. A. But that's horrible! B. Can I take the toy back? C. Cool. Mad says, so you're in charge of culling significant individuals according to the whims of fate and steering the course of history, albeit somewhat blindly? I feel like that would be an apropos description of the job. Maybe. Well, okay, that's horrible.
That you gave a sentient creature stuck inside an immortal body to a predatory animal? Well, a tad bit horrible, if you put it that way.
Okay, well, can I take the toy back?
No. What is done is done. If you not listened to me at all, your actions have consequences.
Okay, fine. A loud squeak interrupts from somewhere behind the table.
Until tomorrow, Grim.
Okay. So what happens is I have all these rooms that will open. So now I go to Mortimer's thing. There is an end to the game, so I think there's an achievement for going to Mortimer's Emporium every day, which I'm going to do now.
Shiver me timbers. Ye sure can't get enough of the Emporium.
I can't. What is this? So I can get an Eye of Anpu, a clothing. Anpu, god of the dead, mummification, embalming, the afterlife, cemeteries and tombs, the protector of the underworld. This hound really gets around, and grants you stunningly canine visage. Or I can get Threatening of Desolation, which is a snowball. Or I can get a cactus. Cactus! The most brutal of plants! I'm gonna get this. Eye of Anpu, because it gives me more clothing.
Ever been to the land of dunes, ye scallywag? There be ancient civilizations under the sand sometimes. Once I dug out this particular golden icon. All while I was digging, the owls of the World Eater rang in my ears. But I persisted. Dug until me fingers cracked. No stopping. Till the riches were secured. Ah, 'tis truly a wondrous thing. Turns your own head into a jackal's, it does.
Yep, And this is why we love Mortimer. Alright, so that's that. I get paid for this in monies, which lets me... This is open on the weekends, the bar. And it is a bar. This is my office. Alright, so here's my mirror.
Yes, you did it, Reaper.
Oh.
You have achieved. Your grandeur grows with every passing moment. Soon we'll be but mere motes beside your blazing glory.
Yeah, and for some reason the mirror keeps talking to me. So there is that. Surely the sandbox tree is more brutal than the cactus. Okay, she says, A, what are you rambling about now? B, bask in my splendor, O mirror. C, I'm not sure. Soon will be motes inside your... I'm going with, what are you rambling about now?
Nothing. I wouldn't dare say a thing. Your Majesty.
It's a hype mirror.
Carry forth your deed of darkness, Reaper. But stop before it's too late. Already getting a bit late as we speak. The dusk nears.
Oh, Drake, thank you for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Though we did talk about this morning, I won't say that. But I do appreciate you and Floppy definitely doing it. Oh, Mad Matt, you asked what affiliate was. I apologize. I was going to answer it, and then I realized that I have to change the title at some point. So affiliate, I don't really totally know exactly, but it just means that now, like, if you go in, like, if they choose, they can put an ad before you watch the stream. As you can see, you can subscribe. Yes, I'm a shapeshifter now. You can subscribe, and, like, a cut goes to Twitch, and then a cut comes to me. And so on and so forth. People use their Prime accounts to do it sometimes, and you renew it every month and stuff like that. I'm still learning all of the details. Like, the terms and agreements was already enough to, like, make my head explode, as I told Floppy earlier. And there was a lot of up and down going into this, but I was like, you know, okay, we'll just do it, and we'll go from here. But yeah, so that's what affiliate is. There's other stuff you can do. I was trying to make an emote, which is like, it's simple, but like it's also like not simple. Like making the emote was easy. It's putting the emote on the thing was actually really tough. So I was like, okay, fine. So yeah. I'm a shapeshifter now. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to make something at this point. I spent the entire Jabrowski stream trying to figure out how to work GIMP. I have Photoshop, but I try not to. Okay, so the point was, that's what it was. So this is my eagle head. I have a bunch. This is my eagle chimkin. This is my War Never Changes eagle. My my mask, my plague mask, not eagle mask. My plague mask, my steampunk, my masquerade, my crow, my plague doctor. I'm gonna go through all of this. I didn't get to show it off to anyone. No, it was like, I was like, Floppy says you can buy and gift subs now. You can gift bits on the stream. The streamer gets half of what they make. They can also have emotes now as well as other things. It's a lot all at once, but there's no rush. Yeah, I've got plenty of time to do it. Plague masks are rad. Oh, it gets so much better, Mad Matt. Just you wait. Alright, so I have Gerald. I have human face. Alt. Miner's lung. Lung damage. Smoking kills. I have a pumpkin head. This one's the winter vegetable. This is starving. Rotten pumpkin. Pumpkin king. This is the whole shebang here with the suit, the pumpkin king. Jack, the pumpkin king. I did sing this last week, so we're not going to repeat it. On fire today. And just a regular old pumpkin. I have Cthulhu. Cthulhu. No, I don't. I have an octopus. Yar. I have Red Skull, or Red Octopus Skull. Pop art octopus. Pigmented octopus. Extra slimy octopus. The great old one. Alright, and then I have the Are You Okay? Rebel. Magical. Director. Boss. And then I have my masks. Smiley. Noche de Muertos. Sandy Claus. Dia de Muertos. Bruja. Sugar Skull. And then I have my regular skulls. Poltergeist. Am I Pretty? Golden. Flower Power. Corpse Paint. Bonehead. And now I have Jackals. I have Stealth Jackal. Jackal. Goodest Doggo Jackal. Foxy Jackal. Winter is coming, Jackal. And then Anpu. And then I have my vultures. All of which you saw before. Quack. Hubris. Eagle. Ancient. Crest, and that's the one that we were on. Matt says, there's a Halloween store downtown that's open all year round. I almost got a Plague Doctor mask back when the pandemic was on the rise, but I decided it would probably be in poor taste. Yeah, no, I think of all the crazy masks that I ended up seeing over the course of the year, Plague Doctor is probably the mildest of the set. Alright, we're going with a jackal head. I think I like Foxy. Oh, I also got new suits. So this is my King of Halloween suits. My busyness suit. This is the original. This is the one you start with. Just Another Job. Destiny. Pop Punk. Salesman. Undertaker. Queen. Street Punk. Lit. Hello, Joe. Death and Tuxedos. Bow ties are cool. Archangel. Hardcore. Old Timer. Hot Dog. Pineapple. Manny. And then the King of Halloween. Really appreciating all the Egyptian mythology motifs. Oh, they have a lot that went into this. And this was part of a new update that they had recently. So a lot of this part of the game was not in the original gameplay. That I saw, anyway, when I played it. Alright, I'm going to go with Hardcore and Foxy. Alright, so now we're going to continue on with the day. End the day, Jackalhead. I like the elevator. Off to work, off to work. Oops. Off to work. Please don't ask me why I keep singing this. Alright. Oh, so now we can see all of our choices and how they affected the world. So, at Crow News, end of day researcher eaten at their lab by bugs used for research. They're not always great. At Truth Exploder, the end of days draws near. Already the bugs rebel. There is no escape. Maybe she shouldn't have been using them for her research. At Historicity, draft of 1,000-page historical analysis of Cosmopolis to be published posthumously. And then at Tomorrow's Science, nations are arguing over outer space colonization rights. I have a feeling that somewhere along the line something went horribly awry. Is this on the Switch? I may need to pick this up, even though I'm crap at visual novels. You know what? I'm not sure, but I feel like it might be. You should definitely check it out. Apparently, there's multiple endings. There's a bunch of achievements too, at least on the thing. Not necessarily not on like the Steam and stuff, but there's so much happening. And feel free to make your own decisions. Again, like I said, I went the route where I followed all the rules today or this week. All right, here we go. So now, look here, Grim. How about we try something brand new, methods of strengthening the equilibrium? I have great faith in these techniques of a more structural nature, air quotes. So today, 2 humans have to die, and then 2 humans on opposite ends of the profile bundle have to die? What? What? Okay, well, let's find out what the profiles are, I guess. Does that mean, like, actually physically? Like, these 2? Or does it mean, like... Wait, so opposite ends of the profile... So, is he just telling me that I have to take out these 2? Like, I don't have to make this choice? Like, they're just gonna tell me? Well, I don't know. I feel like that would be wrong, so let's do this. Anna von Wolfenstein. She's 48, she's a judge. Anna has worked as a judge for 20 years and loves their job very much. Not so much because of the bringing of justice, but because of the political power the position brings. And Anna likes to have power and influence a little too much. Oh goody. I think they mean good person, bad person. That's what I thought at first too. Well, I'm assuming that if that's the case, this is already off to a weird start. Like, not a fan of this judge. Let's see. Ethel Stone, 64, retired. Ethel has been happily married for nearly 40 years, and no one needs to know of any affairs conducted after the birth of the first child, and the second. Now that their own kids are fully grown, Ethel considers being a grandparent the most important role. They try to be the cool one, but often have trouble understanding why some of their grandchildren aren't allowed to eat meat or peanut butter sandwiches. Alright, Ethel, that doesn't seem so bad. It could be worse. Alright, let's see. Caleb Sadi Randu, 30, junior researcher. Maybe I can save this researcher. Right after graduation, Caleb went to work at the Acedia Institution, where they have been researching strange experimental pathogens. The goal is to achieve a potential breakthrough in human cell regeneration. It's a pretty dangerous job and often involves some very sharp instruments. Alright, I guess human cell regeneration is good, right? I don't see why not. Alright, here we go. Andres Candres. I don't know who needs to name someone this in life, but someone needs to go around with the name Andres Candres. Ooh, he's gonna make zombies. He is the exact researcher at the start of every zombie movie, isn't he? He's like, I just need to figure out cell regeneration. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's been tried 100 times before, and they've always ended up in zombies, and yet I think I know the answer. I think I got it. We're very close. And then 101th time, zombies. Alright, Andres Candres. 50. 30. Graffiti artist / business person. Oh, give me 2 seconds. I will be right back. I think it's the sax that made you say that, right? Take thine time. Yeah, it's definitely the sax speaking. All right, now I'm back. So we're good. So we have the graffiti. All right, Andres Candres is still the name that's freaking me out here. So you have Andres Candres, the small-time business person, but secretly they're a naive impressionistic painter. Their graffiti is found on many walls drawn at night under the protection of anonymity. Andres suspect that their art has mystical powers and try to do good by adding positive karma to nice houses. It's unclear if they're fully in control of these powers. Alright, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. If you're still here, I apologize for taking that long. Again, like I said, the other chat took, like, the other thing that was taken, I had to be there for, was taking a little longer than I thought. So I apologize for that, but it was fun. And I hope we're having fun here too. We're gonna choose whether Andres Candres can stay or go, like a Smashing Pumpkins song. All right, here we go. Wait, that's not who sang it, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, here we go. So, Andres Candres. Playing Hades on the DL. Okay, cool. Andres Candres, exclamation point die or exclamation point spare. Spare. By spare, I mean spare. All right. Andres Candres can live. Mad Matt has spoken. Right? Spare. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Easy peasy. Well, yeah. We need to start that zombie infestation. All right. That's a piano turtleneck. Perhaps I spoke too soon. I don't know. Okay, I will say, well, is it a turtleneck? I thought it was a scarf. Let's go with it's a piano scarf, right? I think that's better. It's a piano scarf. It's fine. He's fine. He's safe. He's totally safe. Right? Totally safe. Okay, so if it was a piano turtleneck, there'd be way more questions. Okay, so now I just have to choose, I guess, Anna Wolfenstein. Exclamation point die, exclamation point spare. We've already decided, by the way, that we're gonna let Caleb, the junior researcher, live. So just letting everyone know. Everyone seems to agree that we need to have... So good guy, bad guy. Right? Right. That's what I'm thinking. I assume that I'm choosing that Anna von Wolfenstein is probably considered the bad guy if she likes having political positional power to judge over the lives of people. Maybe? Maybe? Yes? Maybe? I'm going with she dies. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with reaping her from the world. That it's not sounding any better. All right, she dies. All right, here we go. Choice is final. So I have 2 lives. So unfortunately, Grandma is not allowed to poison her kids or grandkids with anything. She says, or maybe it wants us to choose a young person and an old person. Exactly right. It's so vague. I'm like, I was sitting there thinking, like, either it's the farthest or look, we're gonna find out in the review. Yep. Here we go. Let's find out how our review goes. Are genders a factor in opposites? They are actually not. According to the way they explained it last week, technically speaking, while you can probably assume gender according to their names, they're actually considered just a body. You are just reaping a body. Woo! Woo! If we had to take in genders, that'd be it. We'd be done. Agreed. All right, here we go.
Grim, my fellow colleague, I have been deliberating a matter. Perhaps you can be of assistance.
Okay, yes.
Should I become a writer? I could
What?
write many compelling works of fiction. I am an antique, after all. I have much experience.
A, sure, why not? B, it's not really my place to say. Or C, shrug. Can't be any worse than some writers out there. And that's probably the actual answers I would give.
Cannot be worse
No.
than what?
Really? There's more?
What do you have in mind?
Pooh. A, oh, humans just publish all sorts of junk. Or B, you know, I tried this computer game where you talk to your boss a lot. Hit.
Game? Writing? Come now. I hardly think that counts as a real art form.
I feel like there are many characters that would agree with you on this one, sir. Toko
I shall
Fukawa is
continue
probably
my
one.
contemplation. But for now, it is time for daily feedback. All the files are in order. Excellent work.
Oh, we got it right.
You are a testament to meticulousness.
Oh, we got it. Mad Matt, we made it. Ooh, I was worried we got something wrong in the vagueness of that. Whew. The cat mutters in contentment.
Well, off you go now. I must return to my deliberations.
Are we on day 2? Alright, I got 400. Time to visit. Oh, that pig is my piggy bank, by the way. That every time I hear it, oink. What else you got for me, Mortimer?
A pleasure to see ye again.
I'm at 1200. Oh, I get a oh, do I get a grim cape? This dark cape is a classic attire for any grim deeds. It's pleasantly warm while offering protection against wind and rain, which you won't actually need as you'll always be stuck at the office. And cape. Buying the grim cape.
Tis a true classic. See, me and me crew were sailing round the side pole or terminus, freezing our nuts off. Blinding storms, icy blizzards. Them's some ruthless times. Dog eat dog, they say. Or pirates eat pirates, more like. Got lucky to find a whole field of tundra cotton when we did. Made some cloaks to keep the bones warm. Much too warm nowadays, though. So you're more than welcome to it.
Sweet, thanks. Much obliged. Alright, let's go check out our new cape. I could... pink, pink, oink, oink. Flappy says, I mean, it's a cape. Now you can be dramatically mysterious. I can, and I have to see how it looks. Alright. Stone Cold Classic. And... Alright, there's an achievement for Classic! The classic Grim Reaper look is what we will go for today, though I'm actually going to probably pick gold. Because, why wouldn't I? Hey, 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 Mr. J-Star, how's it going today? Alright. We're just playing a little Death and Taxes. Deciding who lives, who dies from the comfort of the office. Going to work, I passed my work. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite song in the entire thing. Oh, let's see how our young researcher has done creating the zombie apocalypse. Tomorrow's science. Human regeneration. Just around the corner or just a pipe dream? Okay, so fortunately it seems like he's doing okay. He hasn't done anything crazy yet. Crow News. Electrical substation burns down after graffiti and candles is found on walls. Oh, goodness gracious. Probably should have not let that guy live. Sports Center. Cosmopolis hosting the basketball season final match. Tune in or cheer from the arena for the home crowd. Alright, so it doesn't look like we did too much damage last time, so that's good. Alright, so Mad Matt says, what if he actually found a cure for aging and made your job harder? Oh. Okay. Sounds like Ralph from Detroit Become Human. 7. Oh. What? Okay. All 7 people. Why bother reading, right? So he says, I hope you're still well motivated from our performance discussion. We are trying out a new structural method. You'll be required to demonstrate utmost precision. Just take them all out. What? Okay. I'm going to read them anyway, because what's the point? Alright. So Saskia has she's a student. Has a penchant for studying in general. I know I said that word wrong. They're not really trying to get anywhere or achieve anything specific at the moment. They're just learning all that comes within their field of view. Literally sounds like me in college. Except for I did have a major. This approach may at least get them on the college challenge team. Yep, indeed. Mad Matt says, yeah, Mr. J-Star, oh my god, I can't even. 7 people to decide whose lives not to kill. Mad Matt says, I mean, you should at least take a minute to get to know them before you seal their doom. I figured it's just proper decor. Yeah, Mr. J-Star, I was sitting there thinking, like, maybe I should choose to, like, kind of give them a little bit leeway. But I had actually decided when I started this gameplay last week that I was going to go ahead and make it so that I followed all of the rules. Because there is an achievement for getting the endings. And I think, depending on how you choose, you actually get all the endings. So I have to actually make an active choice to, like, disobey or to follow. And I'm usually pretty good about, like, disobeying orders. It's kind of in my nature. I'm not even sure why or how, but for some reason I just like, you know, I don't think this is the morally upground choice. So I have to actually work. Are they all students? No, Christy Capel is a student. A true student for life. Christy has no intention of stopping their increased learning process. In fact, they might be on the verge of a massively important breakthrough with their 4th bachelor's thesis. First off, what bachelor program has a thesis? Mad Matt says, we are law-abiding reapers today. We are. Wilton Singh, 39, a logistics coordinator. Wilton is very proficient logistics coordinator. Their nickname at work is Smooth Operator. They also apply these skills to managing 2 secret families. Oh, well that's a good skill. You keep that, sir. I mean, you keep that, person. Kyo Akihito, 62, a farmer. Kyo has lived in 4 different countries and finally setting down in the Sun Country wine region where they now work as a viticulturalist. They enjoy fast cooking and horse riding and have 7 grandchildren who visit often. Eli Logan, grave robber, and die. I probably should have read, I don't know. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Weston. I feel like I should just give you a mic, Mad Matt, and it's here. Anytime, just push a talk when you want to sing, because you should. I would really enjoy a little bit of that, not gonna lie. Eli Logan, grave robber. When people start burying their loved ones together with their valuables, Eli started digging. The belief that possessions could somehow be taken to the afterlife seems very silly to Eli. They called themselves a tomb diver. Okay, tombs aren't that deep. Also, tombs are above ground, so not so much a diver, are you? Across the north to south to Key Largo, love for sale. I also don't know how to sing that particular line. Asip Baraday, 24, basketball player. Asip, who started off as a student of sociology and is currently on the path to becoming the highest scoring power forward in the local college basketball history. When not training or studying, they often help out in the community. Okay, this is the part where literally following the rules becomes really problematic for me. Smooth. Right. Smooth operator. I also only know that part. I don't really know the rest of the song. I really should learn. Have you ever read the book, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil? And you have the woman of 6,000 songs. At one point, I really wanted to be the woman of 6,000 songs. And that was when I was maybe about 11 when I read, 11? Maybe closer to 13 probably. I was like, oh, I really want to be that. And then I thought about it, and 6,000 songs is a lot. 6,000 songs is a lot. So maybe I can be the performer of like 100 songs. That's a little bit more doable. It's a classic. I've not read it. No, I think it's really good. There is a movie of it, a movie version of it that actually I thought did a good justice. I actually listened to it as a book on tape, and I thought that made it much more interesting. I did reread it as like just a raid book, but I was like, no, the audiobook was actually way fascinating. I think they may have it. If you want it, I mean, I would probably recommend finding it at the library. I don't know if you've done... Here they have the Overdrive. I don't know if you have it in New York. But the library system has the Overdrive, where you can actually check out audiobooks from the library, put it on your phone, and then after 2 weeks, it disappears from your phone. I would recommend it. And I would say that it's one of those books that does warrant being read. At least once. Okay, Garrett Galt. Was a great name for a scam artist. Who is this person? A nobody. A vain and arrogant. They promised numerous grand inventions, all of which failed. Blinded by egoism, they refused to learn any lessons and continued down this path, ultimately leading to ruin several businesses and the death of a number of people. Well, he said all of them. No need to choose. They literally said all humans. Oh, he said all humans in the bottom row. Oh, flibberty gibbet. I don't remember who it was. So oh no! I just don't know. My perfect streak. Wait, time out. Because it even said bottom row. Does that mean bottom pile? Because they were set up kind of like this. Right? Kind of. Oh, is it gonna? Oh, we are saved. We are not saved. Well, we were alive. Let's assume that this is it. Yeah, here we go. This is the bottom row. Because I can't seem to move it any other way. Oh, whoops. That one. Well. Well, okay, well, the guy gets to have more grandchildren. She gets to be a student for life, and she also gets to be a never-ending student. There we go. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, right? All right, time to go meet fate. Right? Okay, here we go.
Deathspawn, I have been ruminating on the humans. They vex me.
Actually, there is an eraser of fate, a whiteout of destiny. I haven't bought it yet, and it's one-time use only. When it comes back, there's actually an achievement in the Steam for using the eraser 10 times. And yeah, so I should probably have bought that for this particular occasion.
Why do they exist? Their presence still seems unnecessary. Would it all not be simpler without them?
A, maybe, but that's not our call to make. B, yes, they should all go. B, no, we need them. It's A, not our call to make. I mean, literally.
Perhaps we do still hold some control over the levers.
A, honestly, it's all way over my head. B, I don't see this line of thought going anywhere. C, I'm just here to follow orders. Or D, couldn't humans achieve immortality somehow? I'm not even sure why I would ever say this last one. And I think I'd be more often than... Mad Matt says, if not for humans, who would have invented your bow tie? Mad Matt, this is why you should also consider game writing.
Oh, never mind my ramblings. I acknowledge your patience and loyalty.
Actually, I do have thoughts on loyalty.
I am all ears, Grim.
Oh, did I really have thoughts on loyalty? Oh, okay. Well, A, don't you think this flows too one way? Or B, it doesn't seem fair because I've basically got no agency. Or C, it's nothing special. I just like doing what I'm told. I'm going with, don't you think this flows one way?
Such is the nature of loyalty.
Wow, I don't think I would have ever said this. He's been nothing but kind, and we've talked. Right? Hardly, you're just arrogant, always demanding, never giving back. And I'm like, or. I guess never mind then. Never mind then. Not gonna.
Well, I appreciated the discourse. Good night.
Just following orders, TM. Wait, what? I didn't even get my daily review.
Oh, right. Slipped my mind. Well, if it is that important.
Oh my god. Okay, I probably am that person who either as a student or as a worker, as an employee of a company, where they would be done with the meeting and everyone is ready to go home, and I would probably be that person that's like, so actually, hold on, I'm sorry, did we forget? And everyone would groan because they clearly had been forgotten and now they have to go back and face it. So I apologize for being that person.
It seems you marked more deaths than necessary.
Oh, shoot.
Enjoy your reprimand. Now depart. I have things to contemplate.
Reprimand enjoyed. Okay, that was a little better than I thought. Actually, it's a little concerning how I didn't get much. Oh, well, I got no pay, so there is that. Alright, well, let's go see Mortimer.
Ye drive a hard bargain, mate. But Mortimer does love a good stuff.
Ooh, ears! Oh, but I can get... Here, here, Mad Matt, here's... The Lethian Obliviator is used to remove grievous mistakes, meaning it erases whichever mark you made on a profile. One use only. So yeah, it's there, but I want the ears. I want the ears. A pair of cat ears. Rip that flawless run and that gut, I guess. It goes, oops. It's not an oops, it's a Lethian Obliviator. Oh my gosh. A pair of cat ears would look really nice on me and inspire all the felines of the world. Just don't talk or even think about the film adaptation of the musical. I won't. I will absolutely ignore
You
it.
know why I was the scourge of the seas? Because ain't nothing out there that frightens me. Once we looted an ancient tomb for gods and kings long forgotten. And you know what, matey? Found there the most particular set of ears. Wearing 'em gives ye supernatural hearing. Happened to overhear a mutineer plot that very night. So I threw 'em all right overboard.
Oh my.
Fun with the fishes now they are.
I mean, you could buy a stay of execution, but the cat ears. Look, I got the achievement now. I can get the oops eraser on the next try. Actually, what I should be doing is reading the directions more carefully. Oink. But cat ears. Let's see how cute I look. And tell me that was not a good choice, this cat ears. Look, I am the knight. Fancy cat. Go get him. Kawaii. Gray. Right? See? Totally worth it. Wouldn't the people you condemn want you to look cute? Exactly. Kawaii. Kawaii and death robes. Done and done. I got the achievement RIP Fashion, which I believe... I'm just checking. It's get all the clothes and visages. So now that I've got cat ears, I can focus on... Goodness gracious, do you see this? I can focus on getting everything else. Ending the day. Off to work. Alright, and change the channel real quick, because there's other... That's off. Oh yeah, now we have smoother jazz piano. Mad Matt says, LOL, imagine you have a stroke or a car accident and the psychopomp that comes to claim you looks like a manga fan service girl. Tell me that you would not feel like a little different about a lot of things. Like maybe you wouldn't be as nervous, or maybe you wouldn't have questions, or actually maybe you have more questions, but they wouldn't be the questions you originally were going to ask. There. On my phone, at Crow News, promising young athlete dead in a bus and car collision after latest match. Oh, goodness gracious. Modern Health. Doctors find unknown enzyme composites in body of a dead athlete. Active samples could have led to new medical territories. We might have made a mistake somewhere. Oops. I wonder if I'm making a difference. Definitely making a difference. At Crow News, inventor drowns in first attempt to start the construction of an underwater city. Economista. Dozens of jobs lost after catastrophic management. Daily Moon. These two had no idea they were married to the same person until this funeral dispute. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Crow News. Grave robber found dead with bite mark on their neck. Spooky. Edutainment. Central Cosmopolis University quiz team suffers a major loss in group stages. Start search for new members. What have I done? Oh my god. Tomorrow Science. Scandal erupts at university as another thesis is found to be full of plagiarized paragraphs and faulty research. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, okay, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We made Draculas. Yeah, the week's only halfway over. This work week is so long. All right, we're going to read the directions carefully. Life ought not to be too predictable, but the massacre you wrought yesterday? Unacceptable. What? See, this is the reprimand I was expecting to get yesterday. Yet I understand we could use a bit of alteration and alternation sometimes, which is why I've developed a new process. Quota for today. Every other profile has to die. Must now return to my research. Okay, every other profile. So we're doing it this way. Death, live. Death, live. Death, live. Death, live. I'm going to assume that death was going to start everything. So, right? Yeah, awesome. Now, in the death pile, we have... Oh, shoot. Give me one more second. I'll be right back. Okay, and this one. Okay, cool. So we're back. Ami Morin Pajid. This person is 35 and a poacher. I'm okay with going first on this one. Not a fan of poachers. Ami is a gifted hunter who recently found a way to make a decent living with this skill. They hunt the elusive mountain cats for their fangs, which are thought to cure multitudes of health problems. And death. Don't even have to ask either. No offense either, but I got that one. This death, Price Mallard. Good night, Drake. Sleep tight. Don't let... Oh, wait, hold on. I can do this. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Alright, that's my Danganronpa, so that's enough of that. Also, it dawns on me, I wish I'd done... Doing this and only having a voice but no face. I'm like, alright, fortunately at the very least, like, no one's gonna see how red I just turned doing that live. Okay, anyway. It also doesn't mean he's gonna die from bedbug bites or get stabbed in his sleep, if anyone knows the Danganronpa series at all, so... He'll be fine. We'll see him in the morning. He'll be fine. We'll see him when he goes back to his stream. Right? Yes. Awesome. Cool. Price Mallard, 30, photographer. When I said super casual stream, I meant just Kisara talks way too much. Price started their photography career by taking tasteful nudes, but soon got bored and decided to turn toward nature photography instead. They stalked the countryside for glorious vistas and sometimes aimed their camera at birds and wildlife. Well, I'm really sad I put him in that pile, but that's where the alternate was going. It started with poachers, and I had to go from there. Sorry, bud. You're doing better than you feel. 'Tis nice and chill. Awesome. Amandus Hamir, 51, editor-in-chief. Before Amandus took over the Daily Moon, the newspaper was in decline. Ruthless determination, they turned the paper into a tabloid powerhouse we know today. While recklessly digging through the lives of others, they've used the paper to suppress rumors about themselves. Rip Picture Man. Well, I can't help it. He was in the alternating pile. Lisa Markovic, 47, housekeeper. Lisa loves to engage in gossip. They have a binder full of information about the people living in the house they work, and a separate binder for all the people they visit. Most of the information they have is sensitive and used to blackmail the wealthy, and they do it all for their children. Well, I understand the reason behind it, but you were in the alternated side, so die you must. Suarez Hall, 29, game designer and digital artist. Suarez has always had a sensible ideas and fantastical visions, which is why they're now in charge of developing the latest expansion of Planet of Peacecraft. The expansion promises an even grander open-world experience along with an epic tale of deceit and corruption. Also starring Keanu Reeves, and it's going to have a really terrible Sunny scandal. I mean, none of that happened, right? Awesome. KG Sakai, 66, retired. KG made a fortune with their protein bar factory, allowing them to retire early. Exactly, Floppy. They decided to use their hard-earned fortune on helping the community, supplying the impoverished regions with free potato plants and helping them become self-sufficient. It's probably pronounced Sorsha? Oh, is that a Gaelic descent name? Oh, interesting. Sorsha. Sorsha. I don't know why I thought that having the first part. I know it's phonetics when you do it that way, but shout! Sorsha! That's incorrect. Sorsha. Gaelic is tricky like that. I can believe it. Alright, you are in the live pile. Plus you gave free potatoes. Which is good. Nasir Al-Farai, 20, CrossFitter. Nasir loves to be physically attractive, and being a CrossFitter suits their lifestyle perfectly. Although the sport gets a bad rap, Nasir is determined to set a great example of how CrossFit can be performed safely. I am down for safe CrossFit. Yay! You get to live, and you get to live. Everybody gets to live, except for the 4 on the right. None of the letters think what you think, by the way. It's frustrating. Oh, is that so? I believe, I haven't... I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think back to when studying etymology and folk songs that come from the Celtic Gaelic genre of music, when we studied that side of things. I was like, I was trying to think if they had words. I think we focused primarily on the instruments, actually. It's late. None of the letters think what you mean what you think. Think what they... Wait. None of the letters mean what you think. Whoosh! We got it. We got there in the end. Ellie, you are in the live pile by a stroke of good fortune. Alright, let's turn in. And hopefully we got this right this time. Though I'm beginning to think the vaguer it gets, the more chances of getting it wrong it is. Meow, meow, meow. Off to fate.
Grim, welcome. Remember when I told you of my idea to become an author? I think I have reached a conclusion.
A, I'm all ears. ... Metaphorically speaking. Because I have cat ears. Yeah? Okay, cool. B, is this really what my job has come to? Or C, no, I recall nothing of the sort. I'm going with A, because that's who I am.
Appreciate it. Now, you might find this shocking.
Mad Matt says, if you're made of things, whose head did you get? I got a kawaii cat. The cutest cat on earth, and that is my head. Currently.
Truly, I have decided to set myself upon the path of grand artistry. I shall compose a novel most illustrious, one that will explain everything.
A, cool. Can I read it? B, isn't that a bit extravagant? C, okay, whatever. Can I get back to work? I'm probably starting now to go, cool, can I read it?
Certainly.
Yay!
Once it is finished,
Oh.
you will be the recipient of the first copy of the first printing.
Ooh, woo, ooh.
Anyway, we have some official business to take care of, yes? Tedium of profiles.
I'm getting really nervous about this boss and the tedium of the
Nothing
job.
amiss here, as far as I can see. Your adherence to the rules is admirable.
Woohoo!
Now I bid thee goodbye. The inaugural words of the greatest novel of all time will be engraved tonight.
This will go poorly. I got 400. Going to the Mortimer.
Down the hatches. 'Tis a storm of sails.
A storm of sales. Oh, but I can't afford any of these sales. Okay, fine. Well, I can't afford it, so we go. I want to see what my other coat looks like.
Hey there.
Oh,
What you up to, killer?
the voice in the mirror again. A, I'm not a killer. B, what now? C, will you ever leave me alone? Or D, killing. What now?
The suffering. How many lives have you taken? Do you even count? Starting to look a bit grim, ain't it?
What's the point in it?
I guess that's already in the name.
Oh,
Grim Reaper.
yeah, but you gotta. I'm a kawaii cat, so you gotta. Grim Reaper. Yep, meow. Kind of thing. Meow, meow. Kind of thing. Yeah, you gotta add that in there. Mehmet says he's gonna write the prologue and procrastinate on the rest for centuries. Hey, Prelude, how's it going? Thanks for stopping through. We are playing Death and Taxes and trying to figure out why the mirror keeps talking to me. Cause reasons. So then I have A response. That's my name, so what? Followed by, I'm not hurting anyone personally. Or C, not my place to rattle the status quo. Like I'm really good at it. That's my name, so what?
Nothing. Believe it's for a good cause, as always. It's not as if life and death are directly in your control. No wonder fate picked you for the crafting pot.
Like serious shame going. And I'm super cute. Like, how can she shame me so much? Like, look at this. I'm meow. Meow, I'm the Grim Reaper, meow. Like, literally. You can't really go too wrong with this one. It's good to see you here, Prelude. Prelude, I don't know how to do that follow like everyone else does, but everyone should check out Prelude. I watched them earlier. I was able to check. I was actually finally able to catch them. They were doing this, you were playing not Skyrim, you were playing Oblivion earlier, and it was really cool to watch. I haven't played Oblivion in a while, and I was actually kind of enjoying watching someone else play it because I really love the Elder Scrolls series. I was really happy about it. So check out Prelude 1. As soon as I figure out how to do that bot thing like everyone else does, I am on it. But yeah, everyone check out, give a follow to Prelude. and see what he's up to. Ah, yes, indeed. Let's see. So I have Fancy Cat. I am the Night Cat. Oh, I have. Oh, I can, Stone Cold Classic coat. God coat, which I feel like I should take off immediately. Anon coat. Pearl coat. Red Christmas. Vampire. Wild. Witch. Ritual. Autumn. And back to business. So those are my suits. I think I'm going with... I will go with... let's see. So we have Cat. I'll probably go with the Jackal Head. And Red Christmas. I feel like the Vampire was great. We have a vote. Vampire. Prelude votes for Vampire. Goodest Doggo Vampire. This is so cool. I love this. I'm not gonna lie. If we're gonna take Mad's suggestion here. Mad, I got sundered by Dogula. Yep. Yes, indeed. So if you did ended up accidentally dying or falling off a cliff or whatever it is, and you happen to meet the Grim Reaper and he looked like this, I feel like you would, everything else would be okay. Like, death has ensued, but you're going to be fine. Oh my gosh. Going to work. Oh, whoop. Going to work. Open me! Exclamation point. He drinks blood and chews bones. Oh, let's see how we did. Alright, so... The Daily Moon. Local CrossFitter inspires 100 to join gym across country after doing 100 by 100 kilogram hip thrust topless for charity. I mean, that is a choice. There's definitely a way to get people to join. I mean, you can check out Just Chatting. Just kidding. At Crow News. Citizens of Aria are getting healthier and happier due to an increased potato consumption. At Tech Bros, read our preview of the soon-to-be released expansion of Peacecraft. It's going to be a life-changing event. At Modern Health, excessively sedentary gaming style leading to increased health issues. Not gonna lie, I should probably make sure I stretch from time to time. Potatoes are nice. I really want fries now. Let's see. At Crow's News, poacher mauled to death by a pack of mountain cats in a seeming act of revenge. Poachers. I don't stand. Economista. Oh my god. We had this problem at the start. You had fries for lunch? I am 5 hours away from you. I feel like you can send them my way, right? Just throw them down. Poached potatoes. I'm so over you, Mad Matt. Nation's wealthiest prosecuted damning information surfaces at the house of dead housekeeper. Wait, when did the housekeeper go? I didn't do it. Did I do it? I don't think I did it. I hope I didn't do it. Was that me? Send them via carrier pigeon. Awesome. Great. I am looking forward to this fries. Can you do it like Domino's, 30 minutes or less? That'd be great. Thanks. 30 minutes or less carrier pigeon. Crow News, managing editor of the Daily Moon drowned after caught stalking and harassing offspring of a local crime boss. Wow. That is definitely something. At Eli the Scholar. So close to the answer. I hear the notes, but the arrangement is wrong. At Eli the Scholar. One day I'll show them. One day the whole world will know. At Truth Exploder. Genetically modified crops proven to be a hoax. Use all natural fertilizers. I don't even know what this was, but okay. So that's how our thing went. Let's go back to jamming. I like this better. Oh wait, no, it's not this one. Hmm. Your reading is so entertaining. Aw, thanks. I appreciate that. Oh no, where'd my radio go? There we go. I want the saxophone. Grim, I will keep this short. I am suspecting a systematic bias in our balancing methodology. Quota for today. Last 3 humans coming from the facts have to die. Wait, what? What? I am counting on you for the accuracy of their judgment. I wasn't even... What? They all appear at the same time. Okay, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. I don't know what the last one was. They literally all just materialized. So, what? Okay, here we go. What? I don't even know what qualifies as the last 3. Last 3 humans coming from the facts have to die. So they all come from here. So it would be, what, these 3? Here on the bottom, I guess? That's the only way I would stack papers. Fine, we're gonna read anyway. Gordon Onogoye, 44 and a pharmacist. Apparently he gets to live by being first for some reason. So it's either the first 3 or the last 3, I think. What? Okay, well, we'll do it like this. If that's the case, by that logic, then this character, right, since he goes back to his original position, should live, right? So Armin Lefebvre. Oh my gosh, man! Whoever created the names for this is like on point for creating like names that I have to really think about. Hairdresser. There's nothing like Armin likes to do more than gossip. Working as a hairdresser provides ample opportunity for this hobby. Due to memory issues, Armin occasionally starts gossiping about the client they're currently in the process of working on. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably like of the worst things that could happen, not as bad. Prelude says last 3 would be the top one as they stack up coming from a fax. Oh, that would make sense. Alright, that would still mean that this guy gets to live, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and count him as living. And then regret it immediately because I feel like I don't have an eraser. Matt told me to get the eraser. Matt says hairdresser with those bangs. It never said he was a good hairdresser. He's just a gossipy one. Probably the gossiping is what makes it so bad. Who knows? Alright, so you said the last 3 would be the top ones as they stack coming up from the facts. That's possible. So if we look at these 3, we could vote and say that these 3 should just go. Alright, so we're going to bring back the voting. I'm going to read them all and we're going to do them either bottom 3 or top 3. Just so you know, Prelude, so this game actually is relatively based on choices to some extent, and when I started this last week, I decided I was going to play this as much as I possibly could get this right. I didn't realize that I was going to get such vagueness from my boss, so this is going the way it is. We also have a voting sequence here. After I read, we're going to start the timer. You do exclamation point die or exclamation point spare. In this case, we're going to do it in 3s. So we're going to do the top 3, which is these. And then we're going to do the bottom 3, which are these. So, reading Samuel Van Sielek, 44, editor. Samuel is an editor with a tragic past, one they've always kept to themselves. Every day it gnaws at them, causing them intense sorrow, and can never be alleviated. To numb it all, they have become addicted to painkillers, which often cause them to hallucinate mythological things. We have Karen Alpert. Excuse me. Had to burp. Karen is a busybody who goes around claiming to be the most informed, boasting about how they've succeeded on their merit alone while demanding everything to go their way, no matter the circumstances. They feel they've been given priority above others, and any feeling of perceived disrespect leads them into a furious frenzy. Alright, and then we have Gorgon, the pharmacist. Gorgon got through medical college mostly by cheating. As such, they barely remember what they were taught. When people ask for consultations at the pharmacy, they usually say a lot of random smart-sounding words. They also often sell medicine randomly. I'm going with, I think I have an idea of what you guys would say to this one, but let's hold off on that and see how we go with these three, yes? Yes? Ahmad Zakaria, 46, farmer and inventor. Ahmad has never been happy with the status quo, as in with whatever they're currently happen to have. They're always aiming higher and further, experimenting in various different fields in order to find new ways for ever more productive crops. Sounds... We haven't even started the voting process. He's like, yeah, that sounds great, right? That sounds great. We're still reading, Matt. We have to give them fair trials. Kinda. We have to at least read them. Emmanuel Snow, 32, history teacher. What is history anyway? A collection of stories made up by those who have access to power, and even when it's full of mistakes and errors. That is why Emmanuel has grown ever more interested in teaching alternate theories to their students. Because I'm not even going to start that conversation. Uhuru Firestone, 38, homemaker. Uhuru decided to dedicate their life to taking care of their home and 2 children. Their partner, the sole breadwinner of the family, their partner is the sole breadwinner of the family, and although the kids are getting more independent, Uhuru has no intention of returning to work. Alright, so that's who we've got so far. So up first are these 3, right, that Mad Matt has clearly made peace with, and we're going to bring this over here, and we're going to start the timer. Alright. Exclamation point die or exclamation point spare? Ah yes, like when the Civil War was won with the help of space bats. Exclamation point die or exclamation point spare for these 3? So technically speaking, Mad Matt already voted. Mad Matt says die. Yep, alright, we got 100% in. So since we really can't split, we're going to go ahead and say these 3 are the ones to go. Alright, you guys. Yep. Alright, just to make sure, I only need 3, right? Quota, the last 2 humans go. Sure, alright. So it's just 3. And then these 3 will live. Alright, though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay, don't, everything in me, wants to totally take out this one. But I'm like, I want this route to be as best as I possibly could, the bestest worker ever, but this one! Space bats! I'm just saying. Alright, fine. I'm following the rules. The next time I play this, I'm absolutely taking my own sides here. Gosh, that hurts. It stings me a lot. There, we finished the day. That piano, though. That piano is ripping. Alright. Fate. It irks her so.
Why are you here?
What do you mean, why am I here?
Oh, right. The daily... always in positions when I have important research to perform.
What?
Let us get on with it.
Oh my god.
I see the exact amount of profiles necessary. Good job, I guess.
I could have taken out Emmanuel Snow with this response.
Yes. That should suffice, I imagine.
Hey, can I ask you some more questions, maybe?
Questions, Grim. Fine. I have trouble finding inspiration anyway.
Mad Matt says, being beholden to the whims of higher-ups against your own instincts is a bitter course. It's not one that I like to follow. I called it. What is this feeling? This helpless feeling. Okay, continuing on.
Perhaps your questions will assist me. Make sure they are deep and meaningful.
I will. A. What do you think dying is like?
No idea. Our immortality precludes us from such knowledge. Yet, I imagine it would be a pleasant release.
But what if death is extremely bad and unpleasant?
In that case, at least one only dies once. But more likely, death is just nothingness.
Really? Are you sure?
And nothing, being nothing, has no inherent positive or negative effects. Any other questions?
Ah, yes. Is there an afterlife?
Not in the sense that humans consider it, no.
Wow. No peaceful, illuminated paradise? No endless suffering in the grasp of cosmic horrors? Or what if the afterlife is a dating game where you must charm strange, monstrous gods? And if you didn't play that dating game, that's okay too.
Grim.
Meet your unmaker achievement unlocked.
That is
I don't know
just
what that achievement is.
Stupid.
What? It would be if it wasn't already a VN. And several of them for that matter. Do you think mortals have some drive towards death? Is that an actual game? Yes, I want to say. I can't remember the title of it. It's not a very popular one. A lot of Ultimate games are actually pretty free for free play. Like there's like microtransactions and whatnot. Let's see. There's the VN Monster Prom, which is kind of monster-ish, but no real gods in it. The only one I played was, I'm going to admit this, and no one's going to tell anyone. Yeah, there's a secret on this stream and this stream alone. The last one I played, there's a series of games called the Shall We Date series on iPad. And you can do all sorts of stuff. So like there was one that's like date your favorite Nephilim, or date your favorite, devil, or date, of angels or of God. So there's VNs that actually do have that kind of that kind of thing. The devil ones and the God one was not as fun. I will give it that. So if I said, like, if you haven't played that, it's actually probably for the best. As far as Moe games are concerned, I don't think there are any, because they're usually a little smarter than that. For some reason, Ultimate games have to be a little more outlandish, which is saying something about Ultimate games versus not Moe games. The cat's looking kind of devious. It's looking a little bit, yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you think mortals have some drive towards death?
Because they seem to find themselves in life-threatening situations all the time?
Apparently I'm telling all my secrets. Something of the like, yes. Or, they do often seem willing to throw their lives away for stupid reasons.
Life is unpredictable and lacks an innate meaning. I imagine it is up to them to make their lives meaningful.
Ah, spoken like a true cynic.
Even if it sometimes ends up being fatal. Any other questions?
Can language even deal with the concept of death? Matt says, I actually thought about brainstorming one of those farm life sim games where all the romance options are weird as hell. Yeah. I mean, they would be definitely interesting, wouldn't they? Let's see. That doesn't start art and literature from trying.
One must make do with what they have.
This is true.
Art does seem an attempt of immortalization, as humans feel the ever-present breath of death. A hybrid of entertainment, meaning-making, and the preservation of a facet of identity, carved into matter that might outlast the being itself.
This is getting a little deep here.
At least until all matter ceases to be.
We have A, that moment sure can't come fast enough, which I turned Western for some reason. B, when's that gonna happen? Or C, gray, so art is pointless. Which I would never say. Absolutely not. When's that gonna happen?
Any day now.
Why?
Any other questions?
Actually, I got nothing.
Grand. Goodbye, Grim. The muse beckons.
Alright. I feel like, are we at the weekend yet? Is this because I'm doing a work week, I'm beginning to think, man, is the weekend here yet? It's not! You know how I know the weekend's here? Because then the bar opens, but it's not the weekend. This is the longest work week.
Cor blimey, you're looting all me wares.
Oh, look, I can actually get the Lethalian, oops, Obliviator.
Avast. This tale is beyond reproach.
Uh-oh.
We were sailing the high seas when we found a shipwreck full of these off the coast of the wild wastes. Has power to erase even the most dreadful of mistakes. Used it to erase one of my risky love letters.
Oh my
You know
god.
what? Never heard from the love interest again.
Ha 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 ha.
Amazing little thing.
Yep, that's how erasers are. Everybody's working for the weekend. Oink, oink. Alright, let's see. I really like the vampire doggo. Let's see what I can put else. Vampire eagle is... Oh! Alright. We'll keep the vampire look and we'll add the eagle head, because that's pretty snappish right there. Oh, wait! Plague Doctor! Alright, so we have to pick... or Gerald. Plague Doctor, the Crow, Masquerade, Steampunk Vampire Plague Doctor. There's so much happening in this picture. What else was there? War Never Changes. Chimkin. Alright, I'm going with Steampunk Vampire. Right? It does fit. Alright, Steampunk Vampire Grim Reaper. Alright, back to work. I feel like the game is purposefully long. Masquerade would look great with the God Cape. Alright, well, I'll make sure I put that one on for tomorrow. By tomorrow. By tomorrow, I meant like the next day. What was that? Here it is. I need to get that piano, like, goodness gracious. Like, when I practice piano, like, I'm not practicing that, but I should. Alright, have a phone. Here we go. Historicity. Lack of historical accuracy on the rise as misinformation spreads. And that... okay, we're gonna move past that because we just have to. Oh my god, there's more. Buff history, 84. Yo, my history buffs, you gotta check out this new theory on the lost city of Aramathar. Yeah, or don't. At Crow News, unidentified body found in the lake. Accidental drowning presumed. Next playthrough. If I get that guy again, he's mine. I'm letting you all know right now. At Crow News, experimental farmer arrested for poisoning hectares of farmland with homemade fertilizer. Land unusable for years to come. May we have put the wrong ones? Aramathar, where all the flying saucer men hung out. Oh my god. At Modern Health, doctors baffled as local scandalmonger suffocates due to own inflated self-importance. Look, okay, whatever gets the work done. Oh, by the way, I have these. Oh, this was the last time. This was my best newcomer presented to Grim Reaper, which is me. For the contributions to the killing of many humans. We keep that in the desk and never look at it again. Oh, this is the card for the bar. I put my oops in here. I have a fidget spinner. Yeah. Yes, I can. I have several fidget spinners and I use them all exactly like this. Yee! Okay. Alright, that's enough. Okay. So we have mail. The assignment. An eldritch... what? An eldritch waft of air passed through my office earlier. Certainly a sign of disorder. We could not determine the correct amount of humans to mark today, so I leave it up to you. Alright, it's up to us, guys. Quota. Any humans who seem suspicious have to die. Keep your eyes open. Alright, suspicious humans. Thank God we don't have to go through. Let's see. Ivan Ivanovich Rudetsky. Suspicious. Let's see. So we have Ivan started work. Watch, watch them all look shady. That. Yep, suspicious. That's all. Just told sus. Like it's all. It's red. Everyone, it's red. Anyone in red? Yeah. Unemployed. Sus. Ivan started looking for work right after graduation, but hasn't found one yet. Mainly because jobs these days require them to have previous work experience, while the only way to get the required work experience is to have a job that they're applying to, which is like every job application I've ever seen in like the last 5 years. Meanwhile, they're training to be the world's fastest Onyx Cube solver. Okay, all right. How many you gotta kill this time? I'll check it out. Any humans who seem suspicious have to die. So as many or as few as I want or deem necessary. Adrian De Gallo. 25. Oh, Adrian Del Gallo. Adrian's dream is to become a trophy partner to a rich person. To achieve this, they make a living cleaning rich people pools and hoping to be noticed when scrubbing without a shirt on. Okay. People who are Hey, Mr. J Star. Yep, I got it. People who are suspicious. We hope for the best. Let's figure out what suspicious is. This will go well. All right, we got Martin Baltimore, sailor. Let's see. Martin loves huge battleships. The bigger, the better. What do huge battleships have? Huge guns. Martin also loves those. Martin loves so many things about working on enormous battleships they can't even verbalize them all. Easy to die cleaning a pool. Wait, why is the pool bowl looking sus? wait. Really? Alright, we'll put him in the sus pile. Hold on. Is it because he does it with a shirt off? Yeah, I got you, Prelude. I got you. It's like the pool boy sus. Instantly. Oh my god. Aside from being an obvious gold digger, gold digger does not suspect make. It just means greedy. Oh my god. This is probably the best one yet. Alright, so we have the huge battleship guy. So far as I can tell, battleships guy is normal. Okay. Loic Terran, 52, archaeologist. Loic and their team made a discovery of their career as they came upon an ancient sealed tomb in the local desert. The most intriguing item found from one of the tombs was an ancient wheel of cheese, which still looked surprisingly appetizing. Probably goat cheese. Alright, so she's an archaeologist and they found cheese. Alright. Marco Schultz, 37, fire chief. Marco just can't get enough of nature and safety. They love nature and they love safety. An avid hiking enthusiast, they frequently go on numerous geocaching treasure hunt trips all across the globe. Alright, so right now it seems like the only sus one is the pool boy. Do we wanna try adding anyone else? Ivan Ivanovich. Now that is sus loving. Like none of these people seem sus to me. Like I'm a very trusting personality. Oh my god. Okay, so right now we have the vote. They aim to put helmets and knee pads on all the woodland creatures. Oh my god. I feel like it. Are you? I feel like that sentence. Also, I love the part where it says, "Schultz, do not go gentle into that good night." there on the bottom of the screen. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm assuming at the moment right now we're gonna go ahead and kill off, or sorry, we're gonna reap Adrian Del Gallo, yeah? That's what it seems like? Okay. I'm okay with I'm not okay with that, but I'm okay with the fact that we've all come to a consensus pretty quickly. Alright. Unemployed because he can't seem to find the job because he needs work experience and he needs to the vicious cycle of resumes, right? I feel like that's about the most normal thing I can come up with here. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna leave this guy to figure out this vicious cycle on his own. Battleships guy? Battleships guy can stay? I mean, it's ultimately your call as long as you agree with us. Yes, Mad, that is how I guess it's how my world turns, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Alright, so let's do a vote. For now, we'll... Oh my god. Alright, here we go. We have the fire chief who loves nature and geocaching treasure hunts. Die or spare? Whew. It says it's your call until you ultimately just... Yeah, probably. Not gonna lie. Do, do, do. All right. Oh, we have a split. No. Oh no, we have a split. Oh my goodness. Okay. So at the moment we're split here. I'll make the final decision on that. The pool boy is gonna go, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark it before I forget. All right. I know, right? I'm fine letting him live, even if he's Melvin. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make the final call on the poor unemployed because literally, I think as far as I know, everyone that I know that has to go through this job thing has this problem. Like literally the exact work problem. Alright, Melvins deserve to live too sometimes. Sorry, pool boy, your abs just weren't good enough. Yeah, Prelude and Mad jumped on that guy real quick. Okay. The only reason I bring up the archaeologist specifically to exclamation point die or exclamation point spare is because I played enough Shadow of the Tomb Raider to know, or not Shadow of the Tomb, I played enough Tomb Raider to know that archaeologists that find anything cause the world a buttload of problems. Alright. We have one spare. Prelude said, dude not living, he's afraid. Okay, fair enough. He left too many dead beetles in the filter. Jeez. Alright, archaeologist has got to go. I mean, sorry, she got to live. Whew. And that's why I bought the eraser. She's a spare. Alright. Alright. Nope, sorry, didn't mean to unmark. Alright. For Marco, I will go ahead and also say... yeah, it's the geocaching part. Alright, last one. Martin loves the battleships. Die or spare? This is called, what's this book say? Speak to me, oh voices of the beyond! Alright, we got a spare. Which seems likely. Nothing really sus about him. At least, I say that knowing that I apparently see no sus in anyone. I just go around looking at everyone like, hey everyone, you got flowers in your guns? Awesome! Alright, so he gets spared. Rip Safety Steve. Alright, there we go. We've done our bits. Are we at the weekend yet? Because if this is Wednesday, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Not gonna lie. This is why I don't personally do office work. Oh, As you enter, you notice Fate's office is empty aside from Lady Poddington snoozing on the table. I can A. glare at the cat, spiteful jerk. B. Oh no, this again? C. Hey, kitty cat, you are so cute! Or D. Sweet, more freedom from the yoke of the overlord. I would probably... Kitty cat, you're so cute! The old-fashioned phone suddenly rings with an ear-piercing metallic clatter. A familiar voice calls from the static.
Ha, Grim, jolly good. As you may have noticed, I am absent. I decided for a short vacation.
What?
It is a weekend, after all, and the free time will be essential for research. For the novel, yes?
Mad Matt says it's one of those weeks on a glitch calendar where every other day is Tuesday. No, it is not. It is the weekend. I've been waiting to go to the bar all week at this office job. Hey, DeCalio. Hey, how's it going? We're still going. Love, I got a couple more days to go. You haven't missed anything. It's a super casual day. It's a nice and easy day. So we're just playing Death and Taxes, you know. Oh, so he gets. Let's see. Oh, so I was saying, I can say A, hey, why can't I get a vacation? Or B, so I'm reporting to the cat again? Or D, or C, fine by me, I just need the daily review. And I would say probably, so I'm reporting to the cat again?
Hello, Grim.
Of
are you
course.
there? Curse this useless apparatus. It never works when I need it.
DeCalio, I've been having a great stream. I've been having an amazingly great stream. I had, like, everyone here has been having a blast. I've been having a blast with them. Floppy and Prelude and Mad Matt. Everybody here. Drake was here earlier. Master J Star periodically comes in. It's been super fun. You're going to see a little bit of it. Yeah, we're going to continue.
You may be wondering about who is in charge. I did consider leaving dear Lady Poddington again, but my hiatus is only momentary. I am sure you can manage these few days. But what of the conduct overview, you may be thinking?
Yes.
To be honest, I cannot be bothered at the moment.
Seriously?
I am certain you have done well enough.
Master J Star. Yeah, the cat's totally in charge right now.
Now, I must go submerge myself. Toodles, Grim.
Toodles? Oh, we know we're going to have a bad week if the boss is going Toodles. For sure. For sure. Okay, so just to kind of catch you up on what this game is all about, DeCalio, this is called Death and Taxes. It is a visual novel game, so a lot of reading that takes place, but fortunately they have some amazing voice actors in this game. And ultimately, I play the Grim Reaper, and I get challenges, and, I get instructions, and I have to decide who lives or dies at any point, every day, at my office, doing paperwork. Lots of paperwork. Guys, the bar is open. We've made it to the weekend. You're playing the narrator also? Not totally the narrator, but I do read a lot when there's no voicings. You'll see. You'll see. I'm about to do another day, but it's the weekend at the moment, and I'm going to the bar. I have been waiting to go to the bar since the start of the stream. And the start of the stream was 2 hours ago.
You're such a scoundrel. There should be a bounty on your head.
You hate reading? Reading is fun, but they gave me a lot of, what's it called? They gave me a lot of words that sometimes I find really troublesome. Mad Matt says, it's the sequel to Death Stranding. Lots of Kojima humor here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have the Infernal Illuminator. The Illuminator reveals all that is most deeply hidden. Parentheses, once you've already made enough choices and are passing through again, it can't show much else of anything, because that's how things work. I also can't afford to get anything else here, so we visited the store, awesome, great, but we can go to the bar! And at the bar we can actually meet people. I still love the posters. Crow Patrol and Grim Day. Alright, so we can talk to the bartender.
Why, if it isn't the young Grimster. back again to delight my eye.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, so 3 weeks down already. That's quite an achievement.
Hey, Motown, how's it
How's
going?
the grind been treating you since our last chat?
Chilling with the colleagues. Absolutely, Mad Matt. In case they all don't know, just real quick, I don't have the same. I was telling Prelude earlier, I don't have the same stuff, but if you ever get the chance, please check out DeCalio's streams. He's actually really, really good. He was doing The Walking Dead earlier and talking and all sorts of stuff and just chilling and hanging out. It was awesome. And Motown King, I get to catch you from time to time. He does lots of COD, and I definitely love chalking him out for the Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Check out those two. It's awesome. Floppy also does streams. As well, you also got Mr. J Star, which we all checked out yesterday with Fuser, which was a blast. It was super fun. So if you get the chance, check those out. And I think Mr. Mad Matt, you just kind of like to hang out, right? I don't think you stream. If you do, let me know. Or if you ever decide to, let me know for sure. Yeah, the Fuser was really good. Oh my god. All right, back to the bartender. So how's the grind been treating you since our last chat? Well, let's see. I can say I've been meticulous professional. Or B, pretty good. C, same as usual. D, dunno, I have trouble deciding. Or E, mostly, I'm confused. Which is pretty much my exact thought. Mad Matt, I'm a non-streaming man, an entertainment parasite. Okay, a symbiotic good is good. You know, like symbiosis with your parasites. The good kind. The one that says, I feed you, you feed me. Like Remora Rays and sharks. Right? Yeah, awesome. So we can be... we can be sharks and Mad Mats to the Remora Ray. Lit Long Island iced tea, please. Yes. Alright, first off, I'm doing pretty good.
Really? I've been having doubts.
My bartender is...
This whole
What?
power dynamic doesn't feel right. All these lives subjected to the whims of a callous office.
Not callous. He's writing a book.
I couldn't be so confident. Not with these grim consequences.
I can say A, I'm fine with what I'm given. Or I can see B, I have to do what I'm told. I was born for this. C, sometimes sometimes the tasks get a bit confusing. Or D, this place isn't, quote, venerable, and they know what they're doing. I'm fine with what I'm
All
given.
that comfortable complacency.
No, well, in this stream, yes, I'm absolutely doing that. Mad Matt says, I'm a little picky bird, pecking meat from the crocodile's teeth. Oh, okay, yeah, well, I don't know. Well, look, I guess we can be crocodiles.
One wants to heat instincts in collaboration with reason. Sounds twice as powerful to me, yeah?
Yeah, what? I just wanted a drink.
What do I know? I'm just the barkeep. So what can I get you?
All right, guys.
What's your poison?
So we have the usual, which I don't remember what it was, but it was okay. I have the Djinn and Tariff. I have Tax on the Beach. I have a Bloody Gary, Corpse Reviver, Heat Death of the Universe Iced Coffee, or Milk. What are we feeling like today? You said the Long Island iced tea, which I absolutely love, but that's the side of that or iced coffee. I don't remember how much I have. I have 400. Floppy says I'm suddenly feeling scaly. Mr. J Star says we're gonna have a Corpse Reviver.
If you value your sanity, you don't ever want to learn the ingredients of this cocktail.
And then a Bloody Gary. Oh my gosh. DeCalio says she no real bartender. You bet. Let's see, I can drink it alone. Or Goobas. Electrifying! A burst of liquid lightning blasts through your nervous system. If you had one, that is, but you don't. I'm a skeleton. Every bone begins to vibrate. The vibration builds in the feedback loop until it feels like you might shatter at any moment, but it's a trick of the mind, and it soon abates. Corpse Refiner sounds cool. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Mad Matt says, shouldn't drink iced coffee after the workday is already over. Yeah, it's true. This is true. If you go into the bar, I'm like, I would like to have some milk or iced coffee, please. Like, your job is probably doing you very well. DeCalio says, sounds dangerous.
Sure. What's your
Agreed.
poison?
Let's see. Motown says Bloody Gary. I think I can afford that.
Can't go wrong with the bloody classic. It'll kickstart your recovery from any slump.
Goobas! As the seemingly metallic taste hits you, it hints at the usage of real blood. But in truth, it's just tomato juice. The drink has a sharp, peppery undertone. Still, every sip makes you feel secure, as if you've woken up from a nightmare to find yourself at home, basking in the warm rays of the rising sun. That's what I'm going with. I don't have any more money.
Lil Reaper.
Little Reaper. Alright, so now we get to check out our colleagues. all, for, all for you, DeCalio. Alright. Mad Matt says, I'd actually prefer blood to tomato juice, thanks. XP. Alright, let's talk to this guy who is a eaglehead.
Look at that. It's a hatchling.
Uh-oh.
I guess they let all sorts work here nowadays.
Oh, great. It's this kind of
The
guy.
assemblage must be decay. Yet one must welcome the dregs, one must. What brings you to Florian, the Eradicator?
Oh my god. Is he going to talk about himself in third person the whole time? Because already I have a problem with that. I can say, just trying to meet new people. Or, I like your style, Florian. Or, why are you called the Eradicator? Or, you sound like a pompous ass. And I'm probably going to go with that one.
My, the fangs on this one. Maybe you'll finally be the one who doesn't turn out to be a pushover.
Oh, great.
Don't imagine I'll take you under my wing, though. I don't need an oblivious apprentice who can't figure out which end of the marker to use.
DeCalio said correct choice. Didn't ask to be an apprentice.
Still, fate expects us to be polite to one's colleagues because it advances synergy and improves long-term morale. I suppose I must then do my best to enlighten you on whatever matters are bothering you today.
I can say, A, what do you think of fate? Or B, you're another Reaper who works in the office? Or C, you must really like the sound of your own voice. And I think the collective can agree with me that we're going with that one.
Delightful experience, if I do say so myself. One always has to talk to the smartest person in the room. Isn't that what they say?
No, no one says this.
Try to keep your ears open. You might actually learn something about the profession. I am the best and brightest of the bunch.
I am regretting
When I
talking to this
aim
bird.
for the jugular, I do not miss.
We work in an office building, dude.
With blood and guts, I will paint my magnum opus on the canvas of cosmos.
Right. DeCalia says, I'll be moving around. Yes, he likes the sound of his own voice. All right. Lurk away, but enjoy the sound of this pompous boy's voice. Mad Matt says, nice open collar, Chad. I can say A, you're so avant-garde. Or, sorry, I imagine it's a good thing. You're so avant-garde. Oh my. Okay. Or B, what are you even talking about? Or C, that's not what we're supposed to do. I'm going to go with C. Chad, that's not what we're going to do. Oh my god, he paints his nails black. He does.
All flesh is temporary. We here provide the herd with an escape from their meat prison.
I should have been the cat head. Then I could be like, oh, is that Sonia? Meow, I think that's a problem, meow. You know, kind of thing.
It is called salvation, or at least the closest thing they'll ever get.
I can say A. Are you implying you mark people for death all the time? B. Do you ever think of the consequences? Or C. What does fate think about your grand ideas? Alright, so what does fate think?
I don't get to meet the boss often, surprising as that may be. Fate doesn't chat with Reapers all the time.
All right, well, I guess I'm the lucky one.
In the order of things, we are beneath him, as the humans are beneath us.
Chad.
I just make sure to enjoy every slash and stab. Take pride in a successful exit.
We are working in an office with a marker. Like every slash and stab sounds like this. Squeak! That's what it sounds like.
For that is what we are born to do. Yes, we Deathbringers.
Prelude says, I like him.
have to die.
He is incredibly dramatic, isn't he? So let's see. A, I'll have to die eventually when it's time. Or B, so what's stopping people from marking everyone? Or I can say C, great chat, goodbye. Or I'm leaving. Can't say it was a pleasure talking to you. And only because Prelude said he likes them and we're all checking out the dramatics, we're going to see what's stopping.
Unthinkable. You mean to suggest I go against fate's rules and kill more people? A lot more. All of them.
I'm not going to lie. If Benedict Cumberbatch was voicing this as like in that very Sherlock kind of way, I feel like we would all actually like him a little bit. Not because of like the dramaticism, but because of the dramaticism, I guess, to some extent.
I mean, it'd be amazing. Yeah. A glorious day. But, such fantasy. I can bide my time until their atrophy.
Ought to clone himself. He would absolutely have the greatest conversations with himself, wouldn't he? Though I will say, like, I think the only thing that makes Benedict Cumberbatch successful as a Sherlock is Martin Freeman's Watson. I think Benedict Cumberbatch does an excellent job, but Watson balancing all of that crazy out is perfect. So this bird is missing a Watson, is my point. And I don't know anyone who can play Martin Freeman against him. So there is that. Yeah, their characters contrast very beautifully. Okay, I'm leaving. Can't say it was a pleasure talking to you. Bye.
Ciao, little hatchling. Lessons learned, off you go.
Actually, come to think of it, that might have actually been Benedict Cumberbatch. Add a little bit of ambiance and he could be Smaug again. From Lord of the Rings. Madman says, he reminds me of every snooty caricature person from King of the Hill. Yes! Oh my god. Alright. I may regret this, but we're going to talk to the other Reaper. Because she's female.
What's with the mask, stranger? Did someone release the plague again?
And because now we suddenly ended up in 1920.
I don't think I've seen you here before. Let me guess. You're in the... human department, right?
I can hear her breathing through her skeleton.
I mean, the dark circles, the vibe like you haven't slept for 1,000 years.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Don't worry, stranger. It gets easier. At least it did for me. For you see, I'm also in the human department.
But you don't look tired at all. That's a lie. In our Matt says, in our store is a new relaxation CD of me making ocean noises. Skeletal ASMR, guys. I'm down. Yeah, I can tell by those dark circles.
Gotta ask Mortimer for some quality moisturizer next time. So, I figure you've been here a while by now. How do you feel about the work we do?
I can say A, I love making humans miserable. B, I wish people didn't have to suffer because of me. C, meh, work is work. D, sucks real bad. I hate it. Or E, actually, I feel like I should head back to work right now. Bye-bye. Might be a bit late for moisturizer, dear. No, wait. Bones definitely would need it, right? You would need to make sure they stay polished and stuff. All right. Meh, work is work.
Right? I've heard some spawns complain about insane working hours, but they spend all day on their phones.
These newfangled spawns.
Doom scrolling on Cocker or whatever that
Cocker.
is called.
Darn it, Cocker. How dare you?
I haven't opened it in years.
We read Cocker every day, by the way.
It's the little app on your phone that shows you what's going on in the world.
You know, that bit that we read at the beginning of everyone to see how we've totally destroyed everyone's lives? Madman says, I guess if they have shapeshifter mirrors like yours.
You've looked at your phone, right?
It's like, wait, you don't read the news?
No. I mean, I used to, but nothing interesting ever happened.
Did you see all the stuff that we caused?
The instructions are the same every day anyway. Kill all door-to-door salespeople.
Okay, that seems accurate.
And what do I see in the app? The door-to-door salespeople died. Great. So very engaging. And that's followed by the stories of downright horrible things happening everywhere. No thanks.
Let's see. I get different instructions every day.
Congratulations.
Let me see. Or, let's see. Ever thought about asking fate to change your never-ending instructions? This skeleton has nice taste in wardrobe. I know, she looks snazzy, right?
Huh.
Chad,
See
right?
boss like wants. Not gonna happen. I bet it's all part of fate's grandiose plan. The equilibrium. And who am I? A mere spawn to question it.
Is it weird that this skeleton can make that cigarette look incredibly sexy?
Do
Not
they,
gonna lie.
though? Do they really? Or is it an illusion?
In any case, reading the news helps me make
I'll
decisions.
just do what fate tells me to. The decisions are not mine to make.
Let's see, I can say a life with no choices and you still haven't given up. Or, wow, a life without decisions, that's the dream. Or, actually, I feel like making the decision to leave now, which I don't. A life with no choices?
Have you ever heard the inspiring story of Scullifus?
No.
I'm guessing you haven't, since it happened way back when we still used rubber stamps instead of markers.
Oh, she's that old skeleton. I haven't. Please carry on with the story.
Okay. So Scullifus spent all day, every day, stamping profiles to live or die.
Uh-huh.
They got a grandiose case of carpal tunnel from all that stamping, but still they kept on going.
Uh-huh.
Every day they'd receive a heap of new profiles, which were basically the same as the ones they'd stamped the day before. Almost as if powering through the carpal tunnel wasn't making any difference.
How do you get carpal
Almost
tunnel
as
with
if it
with no
wasn't working.
ligaments?
So, in any case, they kept going, kept on stamping, because they had to. Because when you give up, the cosmos, that meaningless entropy, it wins. And I'm never gonna let that happen. Even if it means doing the exact same thing, day in, day out.
That's it. That's the inspirational story.
That's it, stranger. It inspires me to wake up every day. Besides, as long as the coins keep coming, can we really complain?
Okay, well, good luck with whatever you're doing.
Thanks for the chat, stranger.
I guess she's supposed to represent who the obedient path leads to. Great! That's what I was trying to do.
Anyway, I'm off to sleep. See you later. Probably not, though.
No. Alright. At this point, we can go home. Alright, so let's see. What was that one you said? You had God. You said it's somewhere. Let me see. There was one that you said that I wanted to try too. Hold on. Oh, God Masquerade. Thank you. Alright, let's find Masquerade. There it is. God and Masquerade time. A Masquerade God, which is its own thing. Alright. We'll do one more day, because then that will be it for the week, I think. Whew. Yeah, it fits great, right? Oh, let's check this out. All right, so I'm gonna read Cocker. Crow News, the flexing gone wrong. A local pool cleaner drowns while showing off his muscles. You all are welcome. At Crow News, local hero saves a group of young hikers from an avalanche. Gets crushed by boulder. All right, well, sorry, Safety Steve. Crow News, local youth comes in second at the Global Onyx Cube Solving Tournament, GOCST. I'll get it next year, they comment resolutely. At Daily Moon, local archaeologist claims eating 3,000-year-old cheese gave them massive diarrhea, but, quote, was worth it. Polido, the military-industrial complex is tackling progressive issues by having their first ever female CEO. Okay. Mad Matt says, the world is a slightly better place. Alright, what do we gotta do? I have been informed of a delicate situation. I trust that you'll handle it as usual, okay? 5 humans have to die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. 1 human must be spared, and this is of the utmost importance. P.S. Do be careful to let the right person live. Alright. Sure. Why not? Rip ancient cheese. But 5 people have to die, but 1 must live. And I have to pick the right one. This is going to get... Alright, Prelude, you get into it. The guy on the right. Literal. No, it's not literal. Don't. Okay. The guy on the right is called Agnes Armitage. Alright? He's 37 and a policy consultant. There's nothing like the smell of freshly mined coal in the morning. At least it's what Agnes believes. They consult politicians on all energy-related policies, always advocating for more drilling, more mining, more cutting. Clean energy is for losers, apparently. And death. Alright, you are correct. It's the guy on the right. Just kidding, he must die. Alright, so... then we have Billy Cree. Billy Cree is a bureaucrat. If you ask Billy if there is anything better than insanely complicated paperwork, they'd say no. The best part of their day is annulling applications because of missing signatures in obscure locations. Great. Crap, maybe I'm wrong. Then we have Theophania Einer, 40, she's a CEO. Theophania is the last heir of the Einer family. The family started off providing security almost 100 years ago with their initial Monitor C consulting firm. Over time, they acquired a number of factories and grew into an arms-providing conglomerate now known as Sundowner Security Services. So they're an arms dealer. All right. Kevin Okowale, farmer. Kevin is very proud of growing the world's largest tomato, TMR. After his grand success, they are certain to their giant beans, presently named Cool Beans, will alleviate local hunger. Their kid, however, thinks it's a very stupid name. Again with safety. Off you go. Shoot, shoot. Oh my gosh. Francois Fukushima, 66, a scam artist, a liar, and a grifter. Francois is an ex-politician who has spent many years writing books of ignorant nonsense. These words have caused a veritable butterfly effect of misery on a global scale, which they now profit off of. Sounds like a Junjo Ito manga. Nicholas Zhao. Well, this one is obvious. Yeah, it's obvious that they all should die, but I have to pick one to live. Now, that's the actual hard part. Alright, Nicholas was sent to Cosmopolis City from a rival country to learn national secrets, and nobody suspects them because they're well-integrated sleeper agent. The success of their mission could prove catastrophic. They built a family for cover, though Nicholas has become increasingly attached to them. Okay, So here's the thing. We have to kill 5 and spare 1. And we have to pick the correct one. That is the instructions. I mean, Cool Beans guy seems spareable. Alright, so we'll put Cool Beans guy over here. That seems relatively easy. And then kill all these guys. Right? Right? Awesome. Just to be clear, I'll go ahead and put this over here. We're all good on this, right? This guy lives. Hashtag. Exclamation point die. Exclamation point spare. Kevin Okawale, the farmer with the world's largest tomato. And hopefully this will be okay. Prelude says spare. I know Mad Matt says spare. I am okay with that. Good for me. Good for me. Alright, we are sparing the farmer with the kid that hates the name Cool Beans. Alright, so death to the policy consultant. Death to Billy Cree. Death to the Thefalonia. Take care of your deaths. Scam artist and also Nicholas Sal, the spy who... Okay, I got this right? Awesome. Confirm choices? Yes, please. Alright, I know we got the right one right. Like, your emote can't be that cute when you say death in all caps. I'm just saying. It just can't be that cute. Like, oh, death! Boss might not like it, but the boss should learn to communicate better. That would... Oh, okay. Okay. As you enter, Lady Poddington is battling the rebel gerbil between her paws. The gerbil complains at every hit. Great. I can't believe I gave the gerbil to the cat. Yeah, I know that field toy. See the violence inherent in the system. Alright, the only reason I'm going to pick see the violence inherent in the system is because I absolutely love Monty Python. Here we go. Annihilation! 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 Death! Death! Happy death! Squeak! The beleaguered toy exclaims. The cat eyes you suspiciously, covering the rubber toy with her paw. No taking back. The old-fashioned phone again rings as you settle in. The familiar, if grainy voice can be heard.
Grim, you would not believe the fun I am having.
Glad to hear it.
Such a transformation from the monotony of the office. It almost makes it all seem worthwhile.
I keep quiet.
Yes, you expect your daily summary, but I still cannot find it in me to burden myself with this matter.
Floppy says, I'm waiting to find out that the cat is actually the real boss and the boss is just his mouthpiece. Ah! Twist ending! Very Shyamalan.
So, off you go.
What? That's it? That's my... We expanded our entire, brain capacity. I asked the ether. The bar is still open. Never played this, but that's my theory. Yeah, I've never played this either.
Doubloons will get you anything, mate.
Alright. Let's see. Do I get the snow globe? Or the annals of transience that help keep passing any temporalities, which is just days. Mad Matt. Oh, good. Glad you're having fun. Emote. Alright. That's a good theory. Yeah, I have no idea, and I won't find out the ending until tomorrow. Actually tomorrow. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and, I want to buy this because I want to buy more drinks at the bar.
Blimey, we scoured nigh every inch for this calendar. Alas, mayhaps we raided too many merchantmen for it. Because turns out, it weren't even on a ship.
Seriously?
Still worth it for the annals work on any year. Filled to the brim with arcane squiggles and short omens between the numbers. And in the footnotes. Also includes the major holidays of 100 different civilizations. And all the name days. I finally procured it from an old man on the steps of Acropolis.
You got a wonderful calendar. This pirate has led a traumatic career. He has definitely led something. Alright, to the bar! And we're not talking to these guys. I just want to drink to take my mind off things.
Back, Grimmy. Always got another quiet Sunday on our hands, though. No action at all.
Dear Barkeep, what are your thoughts on Florian?
That one? Heck. What can I say that you won't glean on your own? They try to act all suave on the surface, but truth be told, they're a proper jerk.
Oh, good. She's good. We're all good.
At least when it comes to the job. Can't say I trust their judgment too much.
Thanks for the tip.
Nothing to it. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't often disparage patrons of the den. We have here a shared experience.
Ah,
Here's to hoping they won't cause some sort of a major blunder.
here's to hoping.
What else you got in mind?
I'd like a
What's
drink.
your poison?
All right, so we've tried Bloody Gary. We've tried Corpse Reviver. Glad they're not an improper jerk. Yeah, indeed. All right, tax on the beach.
Doesn't love some accounting on the beach. Yeah, the calculator may get sandy, but so what?
You know what? I'll drink alone. The drink hits you like a rip current of an ocean. It pulls and drags, eroding away your essence of one grain of sand at a time. Yet you also taste a mischievous playfulness. A few moments later, you feel like you're lying within an endless dune, buried deep like the royalty of old. All right, that's all there is to it. I got myself a nice drink. I'll be going now. Thank you very much.
Lil Reaper.
Just needed to break the monotony of working. All right. We're going to talk to the mirror again.
Do you know the parades
Ah.
people throw when nothing bad happens?
DeCalio says, Kazara, my drinks hit me like that. That 1800 don't be playing. My time to zzz. I only speak in onomatopoeias. Zzz. Yeah. I don't know how you're drinking 1800s to begin with, to be perfectly honest. I like to drink too, but I really couldn't do that. There's no way. Alrighty. He's good. I like a good Long Island iced tea, though. A really good one. And Love You Much is good with salt and lemon. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. I had trouble keeping my eyes open. Had fun in here. Definitely got to come back. Having fun. Have a good night, everyone. Yeah. So good night. We're actually going to stop after this particular thing. We're actually at the end of the stream anyway. So you guys are at the right spot. So yeah, it was going good. We're gonna finish this conversation though. Pharaoh Prelude, we'll check you out next time. Check him out on his stream, Prelude 1. Check out what he's got going. Salt and lemons, people. Salt and lemons. Yeah, I remember using to take lemon drop shots. Those were fun. Like Floppy says, I'm a lightweight. I sniffed a bottle of NyQuil and I'm loopy. That's Robitussin. That's what you Robitussin and you're out for the week. No. Robitussin is my dad's side. On my mom's side, my mom's from the Philippines. So on that, it's like Robitussin, and then you have Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm is like, put those two together. You're like, oh, okay, and then you're out for the month. Stop sniffing stuff, Sloppy. Oh, sorry. The mirror was asking me questions. I apologize. She said, do you know the parades people throw when nothing bad happens? What people?
The same people who often feel sad, angry, scared when nothing is happening.
Mm-hmm. What's that got to do with parades?
Is nothing stagnation? Is stagnation death? Or is nothing the sweet smile of an equilibrium?
Okay, well that's that. Nice. Floppy says I take Dayquil and it puts me to sleep. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the day. We end here, and at this point, now we can actually come back to the main menu. All right, so yep, take care. Have a great night, DeCalio. We'll catch you next time. Catch DeCalio on his streams as well, everybody. Check him out when you get the chance. I appreciate you all sticking with me. Actually, I was not expecting to play this game, in front of like an audience, but I appreciate you all playing along. It made it incredibly fun. I cannot express enough. Thank you too for the subscribes. I appreciate it. And in the meantime, you all have a great rest of your, well, for most people it's actually Sunday now, except for Floppy. It's still Saturday for you. But have the great rest of your weekend. Stay safe, take care of yourself, and I hope to see you again the next time I will be out. Oh, yep, the Calio says, wait, what's up? I see it the last second. This piano piece is really nice. I should probably learn to play it. Ooh! I like these. The clovers. Oh, hey, is that what those are? They're bits. Oh, they're bits. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yay. Oh, thank you so much, DeCalio. Cannot wait to see your stream as well again, and also all the decisions that you make for it. Oh. I really appreciate it. Too much. Aww. Also, I'm beginning to see what all these are. Like, I've actually never really seen these. These are so cool. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Thanks, Mad Matt. Oh my. Okay, first off, Mad Matt, that is amazing. Have a great night. You too. Yeah, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping through and sticking around and enjoying my narrations. Thank you, Floppy, for for the subs. Thank you, and thank you for welcoming to Ranks of Affiliate. As for Mad Men, thank you for all of your choices. Though I will say, I'm still kind of struggling with the pool boy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still kind of struggling with the pool boy. That emote is so cute. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. So, Matt, you're like number one. I'm telling you. All right, this was super fun. I'm actually coming back with it tomorrow, probably closer to 9. Because again, like I said, I pushed back the stream just because I had to also go with Jabrowski for doing his thing. But I'll be back tomorrow to finish out next week. The next week of work. Though I'm beginning to dread going back to the office. He said, "Yeah, I'm pretty great." Okay. Thanks, Chad. All right, Florian, you have fun with that. If you want to see how it turns out next week, come join me back in the office tomorrow again at 9 p.m. if you like. We'll continue that from there. Maybe we'll see how it ends. Who knows? I'm not really sure. All right, DeCalia, I'll see you too. All right, everyone. You have a great week. Mad Matt's flexing the mirror. Oh my God, Mad Matt. I can't even. Good night. Good night. Have a great week and stay safe, everyone. Best crew ever.